Pauillac is home to many of the most famous names in the wine world. In the distance you can see Château Latour, behind me Pichon Lalande, here Pichon Baron, and just up the road you have Lafite and Mouton. One of the leading estates in Pauillac is Château Pichon Comtesse De Lalande, which I know is quite a mouthful to say, and so most people just go with Château Pichon Lalande. For many years it was owned by a very dynamic woman called Hélène de Lancassin, another mouthful, yes, but anyway, she was referred to by her peers as La Générale, a very tough woman who insisted on only producing fantastic wines under the Pichon label. Pichon is ranked as a super second growth and is considered amongst the top 10 best wines of the Médoc. What I love about it is that in the cellar everything is still done by hand. It's like going back over 200 years. They're one of the very few estates that still rack the wine out of the barrels by hand, so they don't have to resort to using a pump, which would be much rougher on the wine.
Bonjour.
Some of the cellar workers spend their entire careers working at the chateau, sometimes for over 40 years, which brings new meaning to the word loyalty, or fidélité, as the French would say. But even with all the care and attention lavished on the winemaking, what makes Pichon so special is the soil. Here in Pauillac, as is very typical for the appellation, you have a high percentage of gravel in the soil. And that's important because not only is it low in fertility, forcing the vine roots to go deep into the subsoil, but also it's very fast draining. And what you don't want in wine is vine roots when it rains to soak up all of the water, because that'll plump up the berries. Instead, you want nice tiny little berries like this with a very small amount of pulp and lots of thick skin, and this is where a lot of the flavors lie, just behind the skin. That will give you very concentrated, powerful, rich and intense wines. Absolutely delicious. Of course, you'll notice here in the vineyards that there's no irrigation, and that's because in France, for Appellation Contrôlée wine, the highest level, you're not allowed to irrigate. The philosophy is that Mother Nature has to do its job, otherwise you shouldn't have planted the vine there in the first place. One of the secrets about Pichon is that they have one of the finest collections of glass found anywhere in the world. The pieces, which are extremely valuable, date from over 3,000 years ago. There are Greek, Roman and Syrian goblets, decanters and carafes in the collection. And in the gardens, which are so beautifully manicured, there are sculptures and stunning modern art. So Pichon really is a very special place. The wines are brilliant. The chateau is beyond gorgeous. The art collection leaves you speechless, and that's not even to mention the gracious hospitality of the owners.